Welcome back to another episode of the Nikki and Brie show. And Brie,
what?
We are a few days away from March. I'm ready for it.
I mean, really?
You're not ready for March?
I mean, I love March, but it's just time is flying.
No,
and that's what freaks me out.
That does. That freaks me out. But I have to say, I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for... I'm ready to see things bloom, flowers. I'm ready to see greenery again.
I agree.
I'm really ready for sunshine, for walks not in rain. I don't know. I'm very ready.
You're ready
for
to
March.
put the winter clothes away and bust out the spring clothes.
You know what I mean? Yes. And what I love, months obviously always have a meaning, right?
For sure.
Before where we're at now in life, in the past, that's what people played into, which always stemmed from, as you know, Mother Nature. And
all of us as gardeners, we play. We go off the seasons, the months, the moons, all of it.
That's true. So I love it because March is a time for rebirth, as we all know, as we see in renewal and transition, which, as we see, it's symbolized by flowers and stones. And so it's kind of fun that we're a few days away from March. And we could think of this month as like a rebirth of ourselves and a renewal. We talk about this so much. And I know we get that like, oh, it's 2025 and all these things. But how fun to take that into a new month.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
And, I just being a gardener and being out, like I planted a bunch of bulbs and to start to see them breaking through the soil. And they're going to be, tulips and a couple of different things. To see that, it gives you this sense of hope and just like you said, this rebirth in a way. But for me as like a gardener, and we start to, because we don't have the freezing nights as much anymore. So the replanting of our garden beds. And I don't know, for me, this time of year symbolizes a lot.
A lot.
It's a lot of growth and I love it.
New growth, fertility. And it's funny because, it's the month of procreation in humans and plants and animals as, we all see things hatch.
Wow.
I know.
I mean, I'm thinking of when our kids were born. Yeah, we weren't part of that whole spring making thing.
But I kind of, what I kind of think of it as, this is going to sound funny, if I was an animal.
What animal would you be?
You know what I mean? But if I'm in hibernation, and I get why they say March is a time of transformation and rebirth, because if I'm in hibernation and I come out in March, this would be a time of transformation. Right. I just slept through the winter. So what am I going to do in the spring?
Right.
Who am I going to be?
Well, and I think
who did I wake up as?
Right. I think so many times here on the podcast, we tell people it doesn't have to just be the month of January that you decide to hit the reset button. We all love it. New year feels like new you, but you can do it anytime. Yeah. And I actually love that March symbolizes that. I love that March symbolizes this because it's nice to just be reminded to hit that refresh button.
Well, and you know what I think I'm going to do? Because I've just been buying myself a lot of fresh flowers. And what I think I'm going to do in March is every week when I go get my fresh flowers, instead of always choosing the same ones because I love aesthetic and it's mainly white roses. And then sometimes I'll do pops of yellow for happiness. But I'm going to actually really find out what the flower represents and if I want to take that into my week. So it's almost looking at a flower for an affirmation or a reminder of what I want from that week.
I love that.
Isn't that cool?
And I think what else, sticky notes need to make a big comeback because
we're millennials. So when Olivia even texts me her affirmations, I was so proud of.
What?
Olivia's one of our best friends. So
they were on sticky notes?
They were on sticky notes. Girls, we're millennials.
That.
We never lose our sticky notes.
No.
We all still go to Staples and get our sticky notes.
Birdie, she wishes I do it more, but once a week I leave a sticky note in Birdie's lunch pail and I write something cute and she loves it.
I need to start doing that for Teo. I do sticker things for him, but I should start trying.
Yeah, I write cute little things and something that's either an inside joke or something I know that will make her smile. But so I have a bunch of sticky notes, but I need to start to write. It'd be fun if you wrote the meaning of the flower and that feeling you want all week and put it on your bathroom mirror.
Fridge or mirror, yes. Mirror for sure.
For some reason for me, the bathroom mirror is where words will hit me hard. Yeah. And I think it's because we're getting ready in the morning, you get ready at night. You judge yourself the hardest in your bathroom mirror.
100.
So it's you need the most...
To uplift.
Yeah, you need the most powerful words to be seen in those moments.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Something that I have learned recently was when someone is affecting me, it's pretty much me giving them my power, right?
Right.
So this person taught me that in those moments when you are feeling those things, say something like, I'm just saying, this is not what I mean, but this is something that you can like, oh, thank you for making me richer, or thank you for making me that much brighter, or thank you for making me that much better. Like if you throw in a thank you, because it's all about gratitude in the universe, thank you for then something that, let's just say you're giving their power to, and you think that,
Yeah.
it's like it immediately makes your mind and your soul like not give that power to them anymore, and actually you open up yourself to bigger and better things. So I've been like working on that, and I actually have to say it does help.
Right.
So.
I mean, I feel
And
like we
another one,
all
sorry,
hear it all
real
the time.
quick.
Gratitude changes the game.
Well, and that's shifting, you giving your power to someone, but then gratitude, the same person told me, because, you know, you'll hear all these different things about manifestation, or like, how do I change my energy? How do I open myself up to receiving? And, you know, a lot of people will talk about gratitude and the importance of it and how that literally changes your life. Okay, maybe it can bring you abundance or not, but that's not the point of it. It's the mindset of how you look at life. And so sometimes people go, but okay, so I just, you know, is it prayers at night? Is it this? But she told me it's like little things when you like are like, because you and I are obsessed with sunset and sunrise. It's like, oh, thank you so much for this sunrise. Thank you for these beautiful chairs. You're making your water in the morning. Thank you for giving me the ability to make this amazing water. Just things that you actually love and you do every day. Say a thank you to it out loud.
Yeah.
And it shifts everything.
I love that.
See, March is going to be good.
March is going to be good. Wow.
I'm excited for it. I'm ready for the vitamin D naturally. I'm so ready for it. And, you know, Brie, a lot of people, you know, will talk about like, you know, on Cameo, I do a lot of pep talks and people love it. And so on the Nikki and Brie show's Instagram, we put out questions like, if you can have a pep talk from Nikki and Brie, what would it be? So we pulled the first 13 questions. So are you ready to give everyone their pep talk?
Yes. Let's hear it. Okay. I mean, lucky 13.
Lucky 13. Hey, we're in this. It's just a perfect time going into March and everything we just talked about giving these pep talks, right? Yeah. And I think what's cool is that this is dropping a few days before March. So the people that need this pep talk, like, they get to bring that into the next month. You know, it can help them with their transformation, their growth, all the things.
And we've been through it. So I feel like we can give some good pep talks.
Right? I love it. Okay. So first, how to stay strong through the hard times, especially when you feel alone.
Wow.
Oh, that's sad.
That is. I mean, I'm going to actually let you start, Nikki, just because, you know, you've kind of had some really hard times as a late and, you know, being alone. Granted, you're not, but, you know, I'll let you start, and then I kind of have a couple things in mind I'd like to say.
Well, obviously staying strong, through hard times is first like looking into a therapist, a life coach, whatever that neutral support can be, because I actually think that's very important because it also helps you not feel alone.
Right.
But it's not just like you're talking to your friends or your family, like you're actually talking to someone that can mentally help you through it. Like, who knows how to get you through that stuff. And, you know, I think how to stay strong, what's always helped me is I just think about life and how short life is. And I'm like, I either can stay strong in this and overcome it, or I could sit here and just let my life go by and let days go by and make my life meaningless or just not be full of sadness or sorrow. Or I could choose to be strong and overcome this and make life so full and happy, because life in the grand scheme of things is so short.
For sure.
And that has really helped me to stay so strong because I love life. And when people act a certain way, I never understand it because I'm like, we could go at any moment. This is how you want to be.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you. And, you know, something I think about is, one, what's your goal in life? Is it to meet that special someone, to have a bunch of friends, to be successful in a career? Like, what is your goal? Because you're going through the hard part now, but find out what it is you want out of this hardship. And I think of the monarch butterfly. And I know this sounds crazy, but I'm going to tell you. The monarch butterfly has its one goal, and it's to migrate. And during its migration, it leaves eggs.
Its purpose.
As it goes, and it goes to the warmer climate. So
Client.
I know.
Client too, right?
Client too.
Depending how we look at it.
Right. To the warmer climate. And if you think about the monarch butterfly, it flies through storms. It finds, that's why it's important to have like butterfly gardens, so they can lay their eggs. And it needs, because in its head, it needs to, one, have children to keep the monarch butterfly going, but it also needs to get to this certain end game. And you'll see like how they're on their journeys. They have like big struggles. By the way, they can be eaten. They can be like flung in a storm.
Hit by a car.
So many different things. But millions and millions of monarch butterflies make their way to either South America or Mexico. They make the journey. I'm talking, you guys, they come from across the United States, and they're by themselves. And on the way, they leave life in these different gardens. So for you, monarch butterflies symbolize change, because obviously the egg starts as a caterpillar, then we all know the cocoon and
transformation.
If a monarch can do it on its own, this gorgeous butterfly, I believe you can too. But I believe the monarch, why it has this will to live and why it works through the hard times and its journey, is because they know their end game. And they know it's not just for them, it's for their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and to keep that, the whole legacy of the monarch butterfly alive. So that's why when we say journaling, it's so important to journal, to know, like, you can't just go through life without no direction, right? So, when you're going through the hard times, if you don't know where you're going in the eye of the storm, then you're going nowhere. So just, you need to
finding your purpose, because that's the thing.
And finding your purpose is hard, but you got to go on that journey.
Right. And we all have one.
Right.
So you have to go on the journey to find it. The monarch knows it has that one purpose to make it to Mexico or South America, and it has a will to do it, because when you have purpose, you have that will.
Yes. And I'm sorry you're doing.
I love that.
Yeah. And I'm sorry you're doing it alone.
Yes.
But, you maybe put a big monarch butterfly on your bathroom mirror.
Or build a monarch butterfly garden.
Actually, today I'm going to the nursery and getting my milkweed plants.
Is that what you do?
Milkweeds. I mean, so many different ones. Milkweeds are the most important.
Oh, wow.
And then you remember my place in Arizona. All my big butterfly garden.
Oh, yeah.
Remember all my caterpillars everywhere, and then how they all turned into butterflies. And Brian and I were so protective, where they would cocoon, because they were doing it all on Birdie's playground. But we're setting out a big one out there.
I love that. I'll never forget when I was driving through Los Angeles, and I was in Sherman Oaks side.
Yeah.
And it was a time all the monarch butterflies were flying. But obviously, being LA, I'm sure a lot of people have monarch gardens. Hundreds.
Yeah.
It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. And it's like, just so, to me, okay, I'm going to give a Debbie Downer moment. Sad, but...
Oh, gosh, you're such a Debbie Downer.
No, just like the pesticides are what's killing off
being a Debbie Downer.
The monarch butterfly. So, just like when you see people fighting for things and to be, a more cleaner environment, it's because to keep beautiful animals like this one alive.
And
that we actually need for our ecosystem, by the way.
We need for ecosystem and alone oxygen and just the whole thing.
Because the bees are put in there too.
Yes.
Pesticides are killing off the bees. But that's for another episode.
Yeah. We could do a whole one on that. All right. Another one. I need a nice pep talk about never giving up on finding that perfect job. Please.
Whew. Well, okay. So I'm going to say this. I always thought, like, what would be that perfect job? And someone like myself who loves gardening, I like to do decorating. I always thought, like, and even flowers, like I thought, being a florist, interior designer, or any of those things would be the perfect job. But then what I realized is when I make my hobbies my job, sometimes that can take away the joy of what it is. And I think it would be hard on me for people to judge, like, the way I made a bouquet or I decorated their place, because it's what I love, but they could really bash it. And then now it's feeling like a job.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing someone else's, like, love of what they want. So the perfect job, I guess, is what you have to figure out is it money? So something that feels like doesn't stress me out or feel like the crazy long hours, but I'm financially like set and comfortable? Or is it doing something that you're like, this is my love and passion. I can't believe I can call it a job. So I guess you have to dissect that.
Well, and my pep talk to you is you can do it, because this is the thing. Don't stop. Like, I know you're like, okay, about not giving up on finding the perfect job. Keep going to these jobs, because guess what? One of them will end up feeling just right, just perfect. Keep working hard. It's coming. I promise. It's like mom in sales. She's always like, I always say 10 calls and you'll get at least one client out of that. And they'll always work hard for 10 calls. Right. And so, yeah, so keep going, because I promise you will finally find that perfect job.
And dissect too, because maybe you're looking for what you think is the perfect job, but it's actually really not perfect for you. So,
yes. All right, next one, accepting how I look.
So, okay, I've had to do this. You've had to do this. And this is the thing I'm going to say, I especially at my age now, and I feel like I actually do this better than Nicole at times, of accepting, like, this is who I am. I have a husband that loves me. I have kids that love me. My husband does make me feel beautiful, so I'm very lucky for that. But, you know, I feel like when I look in the mirror, I'm like, yes, would I change things? Of course, who wouldn't, right? We're all, you know, can want to change something. The grass is always greener. But at the same time, I just look in the mirror, I'm like, this is who I am. I have friends. I have, you know, I'm married, all these things. And I'm like, I do what I can to keep myself refreshed and in shape and looking good. But, you know, this is how God made me. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to, you know, be healthy, to, you know, I look at all the positive parts. And I have to do that. I have to look at more of the positives, because let's be honest, we all do. When we all feel like we're ugly, we pick out that one feature that we feel like makes us. And that's not true, because there's so many other ones that make us. So I stopped picking that one bad feature I hated, which I'll be honest, my nose. My nose is crooked. Nicole even knows. Like, I cannot.
No, I've never said it, but she talks about it all the time. Yeah.
But that's my one thing. And I'll judge my whole.
But you broke it in the ring.
Yeah, but I judge my whole face. I judge everything on it. And at times, like, I'll like see pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, it just screams at me. But then I'm like, wait, Brie, but also like this and this and this, like I don't mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started picking out like the good things. So
I agree. And you know, I always think back on the accepting how I look. First, what helps me is being faith driven. So what's helped me accept it is that God made me this way. So for me, that helps me a lot. Also, when you go on Instagram, and you know how, like, have you guys ever gone on those, some of those reels where they'll say, like, when someone's on their deathbed, like the 5 things they'll say, and every single person will always talk about how they wish they cared less about their looks and was like more in the present, because you always look back on photos of yourself. You're like, I was really great then.
Right.
Mom and I were actually just talking about this. You'll look back at yourself even 5 years from now. You go, why was I so hard on myself?
So many times.
So just think of that. Like, you know, it goes.
And also, let's be honest, pretty isn't physical prettiness. Like, honestly, to be beautiful, it really does come from the inside out.
And we can't be comparing ourselves online at all.
Oh, it's so much fake.
Actually, we can't compare ourselves nowadays to anything anymore, because there's surgeries and fillers and procedures and photoshopping. Like, we don't know what's real or fake anymore. So we just got to accept ourselves for who we are.
And we also have to understand,
we can't compare is what I'm trying to say.
Beauty really comes from the inside out.
It comes from within. Yes.
And there's actually more than 7 billion people on this planet, but everyone's going to have their own idea of what's pretty, or who's pretty, or who's attractive, or who they're attracted to. So,
well, and when people have made comments towards me, I'm like, when did I ever say I was a supermodel? Never claimed that spot.
But also, like, who I might think is a supermodel, you might think someone different. Like,
right.
There's no one mold.
Is like being our ages now and in the public eye, it makes me laugh when younger kids are like, well, look, she's old now. And I'm like, stop looking at photos of me from 10 years ago. Yeah. And one day you're going to be old too.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
Respect your elders.
Yeah, exactly. We're wise, bitches. Okay. Advice for mid-20s.
Enjoy your 20s.
You
don't put any pressure on yourself. In your 20s, you get to be an idiot, make mistakes, but learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, don't
travel.
Yes.
Just enjoy life.
Don't try to figure it all out.
No.
That's for your 30s.
Yes. Honestly. 30s is when you're like, okay, now I need to get responsible.
But yeah, 20s, I just say live it up. And your mid-20s, so live it up.
Yes.
Enjoy.
And because, not just because of your age, but also because of your body, you adapt easier to things. You feel better on things. So travel feels better. Drinking feels better. All these things just feel better in your 20s. So just enjoy life.
But be smart, obviously.
Well, no. And know like your direction, of course. But it's like
when you're living free like that, I feel like direction will slap you right in its face.
It does.
The way, like when you're open and free and just allowing anything to come your way,
right,
the right thing comes.
And like, I think what was great, like this stuff you and I did in our 20s, was you went and lived in New York for a few years, and
I did LA, New York.
Yeah,
I did it.
And our other best friends, we had some that lived in Nashville for a bit or other places, and some went to go have fun in New York as well, and they ended up finding their true love, and they stayed, and now they're New Yorkers or Jersey people. Yeah. So you never know what it can bring you, but when you don't have attachments to stay in a place, go explore, go enjoy the world, go see history.
For sure.
Yes. All right. Sticking to New Year's resolutions.
So I'm very much on this, like, give yourself grace. If you don't, that's fine. Yeah. It's always fun. I think it's always fun to kind of sit down and be like, what do I want out of this year? Mm-hmm. And like, it's fun to know, like, what do I want? Yeah. And give yourself like kind of this direction you want to go into. But if you fall off and all of a sudden, and this is the beauty about it too, is you might change what you want, which is okay.
Yeah, 100.
So I feel like that's why sometimes resolutions are like, I don't know. People really pressure themselves to stay.
So much now. Yeah. But I feel like it's changed because people are constantly evolving and they're aware of that. Right. And they're doing things throughout the year, which is even better for yourself.
Right. Like if Nikki was like, my goal was to be a bar teacher by the end of this year, and then decided she, wanted to be a CrossFit teacher. I'd be like, girl, you found it. You realized you started your journey off wanting to be this one thing, and it wasn't right. Yeah. So you realize then you got to like mark that off and hone more into what you actually really want to be.
Right. And maybe if it's that hard, it's just not meant to be. So drop it out.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
If it's too hard, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
100%.
Totally.
Do you know how many times I've like done stuff in my life and I'm like, it's just not meant to be?
Yeah.
And guess what? I don't have to put any more energy to it.
Yeah. Bye.
And now I slept an hour longer.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Totally. It's true. So kick them off. Okay. About adjusting to college and possibly handling a big group of girls' drama.
Oof. Save the drama for your mama. No, drama's going to follow you your whole life, by the way. My daughter, who's 7, goes through girl drama. I'm 41 and will go through drama. Yeah. It will always follow you. It's what you do with it. And I feel like you and I were always great at kind of being a little out of it.
I was like,
you know what I had to do with everyone? Yeah. Is just be honest with all your friends and with people. Just like, I don't take sides.
Yeah.
And I can't talk badly about anyone. Yeah. Like, just be the friend that's the straight up one and be like, and also don't get caught up. I'm going to tell you, because this happens in college. And this happened to me a couple of times. I'll admit, I went with it. You get caught up in what people are saying, and you inside you do not feel that way about a girl, but everyone's feeling it. And you're kind of just sitting there going like shaking your head.
Yeah.
That still puts you guilty by association. And instead be like, oh, bummer that you guys all feel that way. My experience has been different with her. Yeah. And there's a couple times in college, I wish I did that.
Or even going, I don't know. Like, that's what you have to say. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it goes off of you. Like you're not
Be
involved.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
In college, be Switzerland.
And be honestly excited about college. I know
College is so fun.
You're leaving home for the first time and it can be really scary, but college is so fun. Now be really smart. Don't drink too much. I mean,
don't ever walk alone at night on college campuses.
Don't fall into peer pressure. Like that.
Go running at a gym. No more girls. No more running alone at college outside. Just go to the gyms.
Be aware always of your surroundings. If you go to parties, who's giving you drinks? Stay in groups. And then, like Brie said, with the girl drama, just stay Switzerland.
College girls have a magnet to them because you guys are kicking off your 20s. So you're feeling independent. You're feeling excitement.
People go in at 17 or 18.
But I mean, like kicking off, like how you're going in. You're just this funness, all this. It's a magnet to people. Like they're drawn into you guys and you're all adorable wearing your outfits. So really be safe, but also just this is your time.
Find your group. Find your group so you have your protection.
Yes. Find your group.
Get that group.
And try to
plan.
Yeah, and try to like the girl drama will follow you everywhere, but just stay Switzerland.
Stay Switzerland. Okay. Making reservations on the phone. I hate talking on the phone. Anyone who calls me goes straight to voicemail. Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, look,
this is my thing. I feel like my guess is you're a Gen Z or younger.
100.
And I kind of feel like it's your guys' culture where you speak more through text. And I feel like that's fine. Everyone knows Brian will not return your texts. They text me to ask him questions. Brian has 2,000 unread text messages. He does not text anyone back except me. It's very rare. And that's just Brian because Brian does better if you call him. So I feel like whatever you do, that's good. And you just got to make everyone aware. Because if you don't, then people feel offended.
But I also want to challenge this person on being able to start that kind of communication of talking on the phone. And maybe it is starting on making your reservations on the phone and not on Open Table or whatever
but I love that I can do it because I'm someone who I just
think of career as you get older, like you need to be able to have that kind of communication where you pick up a phone and you are communicating, whether you're an entrepreneur or you work for a company or you're closing business deals. Like at some point in your life, you are going to have to communicate on a phone.
Yeah. But I think more it's communicate with your family over, because, like you and I, if we're going to Stagecoach, I already have a couple.
Says anyone who calls them goes straight to voicemail.
Well, yeah, that. I would challenge her more
once a week.
Call mom.
Once a week. Yeah.
And honestly, it's because you don't want to hold your phone. Just put it on speed. I do it. I hate putting my phone up here. I never do. So I always have it on speaker and have it on the counter.
Yeah.
And I'm always doing things. I even
have a stand and I have the speaker and I adjust it like this and look at us. I go back and forth. Some things I prefer text and then some things I prefer phone calls.
I'll admit. Business and all that, I like more on text because I like to read and understand it.
Unless it's a long idea I want to explain.
Then that on the phone,
Because I'm it's just you don't feel it in text. See, text, I feel like you can maybe make a text emotional when it's not. You can misread someone.
We definitely add drama to the text.
Yeah. I judge it because I'm but then why wasn't there an exclamation mark and it was a period? Or they've used emojis. Why isn't there emojis? Or I can misread text messages.
For sure.
Right? Because I'm a millennial.
That's why.
But I could throw emotions in when there could be absolutely none.
For sure.
That's why I like on the phone.
And also, I used to love when I dated a guy and talked to him on the phone. Talk to them for hours.
I know.
I used to love that.
Me too. But we grew up that way. We had BBM for a bit, but okay. A working mom trying to do it all pep talk. Feel you, boo. We give ourselves these pep talks every day. My thing would be first and foremost, you are a badass because Brie and I are in the same boat. We're working moms. We try to do it all. We want our kids to have the greatest lives and be happy, and we want to be present every second when they're not in school. We want to give Bonita all of our attention, the Nikki and Brie show, other things we do outside of there. We want to take care of our health. You want to make your husband happy. We want to make our family happy. So it's hard because we are the same type of people, do it all. And then you just realize you give yourself nothing. Like you sit there and you're just drained at night. Balance is the best. I'm still trying to figure out balance. I feel like I'm getting closer. It's taking certain things out of my life to not do it all. But it's difficult. It's hard.
It is. And I feel like, too, I used to really hold myself to a really high bar on so many things. Always homemade meals, always, making everything just feel happy and fresh and all the things. And this morning, I was so tired. And I'm like, you know what? They're eating cereal for breakfast. And that's my energy. And I do either the crunch one or my kids like 3 Wishes. I get it at Whole Foods. And we really rarely do cereal. I mean, my kids' face were like shocked when they saw it. And I wasn't taking requests. And I chopped up fresh fruit, put out their vitamins, their cereal, their waters. And I went to my bathroom and I started to get ready. And I feel like as moms, sometimes we just can't hold ourselves to always be so perfect and do it all. And then there's times at night where I'm like, guys, I'm so tired. Just look through your books. But mommy can't read tonight.
Right.
Mommy can't read. I'll cuddle you and sing to you. But, and I would always push through. And I always would tell myself, push through. But, sometimes I just don't. And that's okay if I don't. And I'm just not. And I feel like that's what we have to do if we want to really survive days.
And honestly, this is then where we are lucky to have technology. The times that I haven't wanted to read to Mateo, I put on a book he could hear, and he loves it. He sits there, and you know what I did last night? I put the planets on the ceiling.
We did the stars.
Yeah, and he loved it. But you said something, and I was going to say something to that.
Yeah, and I also want to say this. I feel like it was definitely an era of American society where we had to do it all. I was a believer in that. I believed that I had to be an entrepreneur in different things. I had to capitalize on this. I needed to be the best wife, the best, all the different things. I will tell you, being 41, I've kind of changed my way of thinking on that. I think, what do you want out of life? And I remember telling Nicole this, you know what I realized I need days off. I need to have days where I wake up and I go, nothing to do. That is life. That's for me. And I had to start to get out of businesses, and I needed to make my my list of things to do smaller and let go of things. And it was hard, but I feel so much better that I did that, and that there's less things for me to concentrate on. My family is first and foremost, and I feel like we got to really take the pressure off of us feeling like women have to do everything. Right. I really do.
Well, and to wrap this one up, some advice I would have too, that I've realized what it's worked for me, and I'm going to say it wrong, but there's even a book about this, and I learned this at the We Care Spa. It's like the pyramid building or the habit building or the...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So it for example, what she how you can do 2 or 3 things in one thing.
Yeah.
So when she walks her dog, she got a certain leash where she could do emails as her dog's walking, because her dog doesn't need the attention from her. It just wants to smell grass and go to the bathroom. So that's when she would do her phone stuff. So she got 2 things done at once, and the dog was super happy, and her emails were completed. So, and then this woman was giving other examples, in your life, how can you do things? So what I've realized is when Mateo's in dance class, because we can't be in dance class, I sit, of course, I'm in the parking spot staring right at the door. You and I are the same. But that's when I catch up stuff on my phone, so I'm not on my phone around Mateo. Or I've been really good at trying to do those things, because the one thing that I've realized about myself, especially when I'm with Mateo, is that when it's time for Mateo to go to bed, that is when I shut down. I can't do it. I can't do anything.
I can't even do the dishes.
I put him to bed. Me neither.
I got to do the dishes before.
Before, yes. We hit bath time routine. Bedtime, bath time, kitchen everything has to be done. Because at that point, I am done.
Donezo. Because you know why? I
Donezo.
think because we're cuddling them too. My body's like,
My body's like
that's
that's
it.
it. No, I agree
We're
with
not
you.
waking
So
it
I've
up.
trained myself to get things done in that. And I've always been great at this thing. Is I clean as I go anyways.
I'm the same.
And I know it's like anyways, I clean as I go.
Well, and I always tell my kids after dinner, okay, go play. You have 30 minutes to play before bath time.
Yeah.
And then that's my time to clean up and get everything all organized before like it's going to almost be like lights out.
Yes.
Which is nice. And the kids just know that. And I'm very honest with my kids. Like if play together or it's independent playing, like I can't give you the attention because mommy needs to do this.
Yeah.
And communication is so key, not only in relationships, but with your kids. It's okay to be honest and say, I'm tired.
Right.
It's okay to say, this is your time because mommy needs to do this. I feel like we have to be very like honest with our children and like speak to them. Like, you know, speaking to them as an adult is fine, but they're very responsive and they're very empathetic.
Right.
Children
and they need it.
They need it.
Oh, and then I have one more thing. And then
One
I know
more,
we need
and then
to
we'll
go
go
to the
to
next
the
one.
next. I know.
But
I love
because
it.
this is me too. You know, well,
I
this
need
is
him a glass of wine. Where's my
well,
wine?
this is where we thrive because we live it every day. So we get excited about this kind of pep talk. Something that I've realized that helps me. Well, one, declutter. I feel like when we are moms like this that try and do it all, we have to have less stuff in our homes. Like, or it is just too much on our mind. So I've been on this mission to get rid of more things because, you know, I started to look at my extra dressing room that I have downstairs. I started looking at all those clothes, purses, and I go, I barely wear this. Right. So this is doing nothing for my life except take up space. My garage is freezing cold majority of the time, and I'm too scared to work out in my garage in the dark. Why is this room not a workout room? Why is it not 2 to 3 things in here that I would always use? Tonal, a bike, whatever it may be. That is something that gives me amazing life. It makes me happy. It's my body and soul. It feeds my soul. It's better for my job. So literally, I have been, ask Brie, I have already cleared out a lot of things in the past year. This past week, I probably gotten rid of 60% of my wardrobe. And stuff was hard to leave, but I go, you know what? Am I ever going to wear that again? I wore it for a big event. She's wearing one of my things. But I was really I had the Real back at my house. They picked up a lot of more stuff. But I was just finally like, none of this serves me in the way that I want to anymore. A workout room would serve me incredible because I could work in there and always be warm, which is really big for me. And I'll never be scared. Plus, those windows, look at vineyards, and I never open those windows.
Yep. And same goes with kids. Kids do not need a lot of things. And I'm not preaching it to anyone and saying this. You guys, kids get overwhelmed too. And they need decluttering. And a child's brain will never work at its full capacity if you put tablets in front of it and a bunch of toys. Kids need boredom for their brains to like get really creative. We had it. And also there's a book, and I need to get it from Brian. He read, kids prefer 4 toys they can play with. And at the end of the week, if you put those 4 away and you give them 4 different ones and you can just keep it in the closet, that's all they need. And you could rotate toys. You can have one little box of toys and only have those 4 out.
Right.
And they actually will play more with their toys and leave you alone than sitting there. How many of you have your kids have so many toys and they still come bug you?
Right.
Because they're overwhelmed.
Totally.
Guess who's not overwhelming to them? They're one mommy.
Yeah.
They're one mommy. Everything else is overwhelming.
Right.
So if there's, we all feel it, our kids feel it too.
Yes. All right. Well, that, I know that was a major pep talk on a working mom trying to do it all, but I hope that not only did that give you a pep talk that you are doing incredible things, but also hopefully great advice on how to do it all, but in a way that feels better.
And this is like when Nicole and I go to happy hour, this is stuff we talk about.
I know, it really is. Okay, Brie, these next few, the pep talks they
gotta be quick.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell a Bella to be quick.
Honestly. Okay, how to stay consistent in soccer or football because they live in the UK. I know you guys played. I mean, you know, there's something to the saying that they say practice makes perfect.
And it really does.
And what's your goal in soccer? I know we were super consistent because I wanted to be on the World Cup team. I wanted to go play college ball. So I was eager to go to practice every week. I was eager to be one of the best. Yeah. I really loved winning awards. And
Buddy, he's really into football and soccer right now. So we go out and play every day, and I'll pick him up from school.
Well, he's a soccer player. We're saying football because he lives in the UK.
Oh.
Yeah. But
well, he does football too. But I'm just saying, this is the consistent thing with Buddy I do. Because he's really trying to learn to kick the ball in a straight line. So I have my legs open, and his goal is to always kick it through my legs. And we do it 100 times, and I stand there with my legs wide open.
Right.
For like 30 minutes straight. But it's crazy because Buddy now literally gets it through my legs all the time.
Well, he's saying how to stay consistent in playing. And my thing goes to like the resolutions part, right? That if it's hard for you to stay consistent, is soccer really your thing?
Oh, I get it.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're already telling yourself...
Like, how do I go to practice?
If you're already making yourself do it, I kind of feel this isn't your thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Because if you did love it, you wouldn't even have to think about pushing yourself to get there.
Exactly. Okay, the dating is good, and the right girl, that dating is good, and the right girl is out there for me. Pep talk.
Yes, there is a right person out there.
There really is. And dating is a good thing. You get to experience what you like or you don't like.
I loved dating.
Brie was obsessed with dating. I did not like dating.
But I loved meeting all these different people, and a lot of them didn't work out. But I will tell you this. When Brian came into my life, I loved being single at the time. I did not want a boyfriend. I did not want to be with anyone. And Brian walked into my life. I think there is something when you're not looking, that person comes. I do believe it. It's like when you're trying not to get pregnant, you get pregnant in your marriage, right? Like, because you're trying so hard, and then all of a sudden there's a month you don't try, and then boom. But the timing is everything. The right person's going to come at the right time. Yeah. Trust me.
Yeah. So just date and have fun.
Just have fun. Dating, yes. I loved it.
And plus, once you get a serious relationship, I feel like this happens with everyone. You're always like, oh, I wish I went on a few more dates or I experienced a few more people.
I mean, I was even the girl who was at Whole Foods, and this guy and I were in the produce area getting stuff. This was before dating apps. And we like giggled and then chatted. And then he asked me out, like literally after a grocery, because in New York, you get them delivered to your house. So we went and grabbed a drink, and he was from Paris. And oh my gosh, I was just like, that's what I love about dating, the spontaneous part of it.
Yes. All right, Brie, 3 left. I need a pep talk about moving. Hey, change is always good. There can be something there for you that you don't even realize. It's a person, it's a purpose. It's something that needs your help, your mind. Things happen for a reason. So just know, like, a move can be incredible because you never know what's going to bring you.
And you can always go back if it doesn't work out.
Exactly, Breezy. I like that. Okay, cleaning all the clutter in my house.
Well, you heard us earlier.
Yeah.
Wait. Not throw it out.
Recycle. Give back.
And also there's companies like TerraCycle. There are donations. Do your research and get your clutter put into the right hands. Mm-hmm. Let's not have it in our oceans and in our landfills.
Oh, no, not at all. And also, you're going to feel so much better. And make it like a week. Okay, I have 7 days to get this done. So I'm going to do an hour every day to put things all in my garage. And then I'm going to call whoever to come pick it then all up. But put it in your schedule. Make it a specific time, like an appointment, and get it done. You will be so happy.
And remember the feeling you have when you declutter. So when you ever want to buy anything again, really think if you really want to buy it.
I'm so like that. Last one I love, because this just happened to me. Parallel parking. It makes me nervous. Like people are watching me. It's a lot. I am a bomb parallel parker. Brie knows this. But for some reason, when people are watching you, it never changes. I mess up every time. I get nervous.
Curb.
Remember, you and Scott in San Francisco. I ended up getting it, but I am messing up so bad. But I feel like that never changes. When people look at you, you're like, you just forget how to parallel park.
And who cares? Make people wait. Yeah, I literally just sent Nicole this video, Mr. Bean flipping people off like this. And I go, that's so my era of life right now. Just like,
yeah. Well, and this is what you always do. I think the cutesy thing. Like if people are staring at you and you can't get it, just be like, I'm sorry. Oh,
like Clueless. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah. Just act like a Cher. Oh my goodness.
Which by the way, Clueless is having their 30-year anniversary this year.
I can't. I mean, that was
years.
That was like one of my favorite movies.
I know.
I did her Cher's monologue, remember?
Yeah.
In high school.
It was good.
It was good. We were just obsessed. We played that CD nonstop.
I just can't. 30 years.
30
All right,
years.
everyone. Well, this was really fun. Now I'm going to go pour myself a glass of wine and have more little pep talks with you.
I'm down.
But Nikki and I, so this was another little quote that we DM'd each other. I think I DM'd last episode, she DM'd me that quote, and this one I DM'd to her. We always do this to each other on Instagram. But this is by Gabby Bernstein, which is that who?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, well, she probably ended up on my feed because you follow her. You know how that happens?
That does.
Interesting. Well, Gabs.
I want to get her book. Actually, I want to bring her on our podcast.
Well, we should do that. Well, this is what she had to say.
Let's see.
Your energy speaks louder than your words. Align with the energy of confidence, love, and authenticity, and watch how the universe responds. Oh, I thought you were giving me a high five, girl. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to speak about it.
No, I just think it's been great. You know, with our pep talks, that really hits. And I mean, come on, we all know this. Whatever you put out, people will take in. So, you know, like if you need to put the little sticky notes on your bathroom mirror to wake up every morning and just infuse yourself with confidence and love, then do it. Because whatever you beam off is what people will take in from you. So remember that.
100. I have definitely felt this more than ever in my past year that one, silence is one of the most powerful things that we can have ourselves. And that energy truly does speak louder than words. You can have people talk all day long. And I feel like we're in that era where people can say whatever they want and you're going to have people believe it or not believe it.
A lot of liars out there. Don't get me started.
Right. So I believe actually, I think I sent you this one too, because I just remember feeling like, see, your energy speaks so much louder. What you put out there, just being you and what people feed off of you speaks so much louder than words. And it's so true. And that is not just being in person with people. It's in so many different things. So just remember that.
I read people's energy a lot, especially when I'm in the tasting room and out and about, because a lot of fans will come up to me and I can definitely tell exactly how a person is the minute they walk up to me. I feel it. I'm very sensitive to people's energy. And it's like, so if you come up to me, now I'm reading you without you knowing.
Right. And think of the, you know, when you're giving so much love and it's just, you're spreading love and kindness, it comes back.
Oh, it does.
And that's like what she's saying here. Watch how the universe responds to you on the energy you put out. So if you're aligning with confidence and love and authenticity, you're going to get that back for sure. So
I love it.
Love everyone.
Yes. All right, everyone. Have a great Thursday, and we will see you all on Monday.
That's right. And make sure to check out our YouTube, because now we have our episodes. And happy Thursday, by the way. We're now on Thursdays.
I know.
This is our first Thursday episode.
Our first Thursday. And also you can see videos from this episode on all of our social platforms, like Nikki said, on YouTube as well. And we're also on Sirius XM Stars 109.
Bye, everyone. See you Monday.